Bonjour, hi. Welcome back to another coffee talk. For those of you who are not familiar with coffee talks, it's a series and a podcast I have where every Friday I sit down with a cup of coffee. I sip on it while I talk about different topics that have been on my mind for the past week, and this week is no exception. I feel like lately my coffee game has been so strong. Like, my coffees have been good, delicious for the past week, or even 2 weeks, I should say. I don't know what it is, but yeah, my coffee is hitting the sweet spot today, and I am grateful for it. I made it myself. Thanks. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling so good and happy lately. I don't know what's in the air, but it's just, there's something, I don't know, I can't really describe it. And people have been asking me more and more frequently now, like, how I'm doing. And, you know, I've talked about this in another coffee talk, how, like, the normal answer is just like, yeah, I'm doing fine. But actually, nowadays, I'm doing great. I have just finished reading A Court of Thorns and Roses this morning, and my life is now changed. There was me before reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and there is me now. But obviously, and as always, this is not the topic of today's coffee talk. Today, we are talking about creating your own luck. The past week has been an amazing week, like a great week. And I worked on a bunch of projects, on cool projects, and I went and got tattoos. And there was like this one specific day that was almost like a perfect day. And then I was having a conversation with my sister about it, and she looked at me and she went, "You're so lucky." And then my response was, well, in life you kind of create your own luck. And I didn't think much of it, like I didn't think of it super deeply, but after saying those exact words to my sister, it made me reflect on it. Like, it made me, I actually thought about it, and I was like, do you actually create your own luck? And the answer is yes. I remember seeing this lucky girl syndrome going around TikTok. I think it was like at the beginning of last year, or I don't know when it was. But the whole principle of that was that you kind of create your own luck, and you become delusional so much that thinking you're lucky actually makes you lucky. And I used to think that was almost irrational or delusional. But you know what? It kind of works. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but ever since the beginning of 2024, I've kind of been practicing just that. I've been reinforcing the idea that I'm lucky, that I create my luck, that everything goes my way, that I have to trust the process, and that I'll eventually end up where I want to be. But I still do get to enjoy the journey, and I still get to enjoy the ride along the way. But having that mindset and being almost delusional is putting me in the state of mind where I acknowledge what I have, I am grateful for it, and things just work out my way. I don't know, I can't really explain it, but things have been working my way for the past couple of weeks. And they have been working my way for the past 25 years, obviously, because I am very privileged. But there are these little goals, these little milestones that I have reached, and I am so happy about it. And don't get me wrong, I have worked towards that. Like, I'm working on myself. I'm working towards where I want to be. And I'm not discrediting all the work that I've done, but it's also a question of mindset. And this is what I want to talk about today. This is what I meant by creating your own luck, by you get to pick the life that you want for yourself. And this reminds me of something I've talked about in a previous coffee talks. Actually, I think it was one of the first coffee talks I've ever posted. But I said something along the lines of, you can't really have anything in life because you have to work towards it, and you have to be willing to put in the effort to get there. And at the same time, you have to stay realistic, because you can have all these dreams and goals, but if you don't have the tools, if you don't have the knowledge, and if you don't have the motivation to get there, you're probably never going to get there. And I still stand by what I said, but this idea has kind of grown in my head ever since I said that. And I firmly believe that you get to create your own luck by creating your own happiness, and you get to choose what makes you happy, and you get to choose what you want to do with your life. And obviously, especially for that, but for also everything I say in these coffee talks, it's easier said than done, because I realize that not everybody has the privilege or the time or the resources to, let's say, start their dream job or to work on this personal project they've been thinking about for years. But I truly believe that when you really want something, you can at least try. And this is the nuance that I didn't quite mention in that previous coffee talk when I said that you can't really have everything that you want, but you can try. And this is what I've been doing. And as it turns out, it's kind of going my way and it's kind of working out. And it's for the better. It's for the best. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but you have to be willing to do the work in order to get what you want. But you also have to believe in yourself. And this is where you start. Because if you go into something and in the first place, at the very beginning, you don't even believe in yourself, how can you expect to achieve anything? If yourself, you don't think you have what it takes to get there, you're not going to get there. You're already sabotaging your chances. And this is called self-sabotage. And I used to do that a lot. I used to almost like put my guards up towards myself and expect the worst. But that just made me think lesser of myself. Is that even a word? I believe it is. And yes, setting the bar lower can only make you, I guess, a little bit prouder because you put your expectations down. But at the same time, it tricks your brain into thinking that you're not going to get there, that you cannot reach for what's up there. And I don't know, I'm a firm believer of go big or go home. And so you have to find the sweet balance between overachieving and underachieving, if that makes sense. You have to be realistic, yes, but you're also allowed to dream, and you're also allowed to set yourself up for success without thinking you're going to fail. But I don't know. In my head, that made a lot more sense. But essentially what I want to say is everything starts within you. You cannot wait for somebody to give you your dream job, for example, or you cannot wait for somebody to come your way and make you fall in love with life or make you enjoy life. You cannot wait for somebody to give you a promotion. You cannot wait for somebody to hand you the instrument that you've always wanted to learn. You have to go and get it yourself. And this is what I mean by you get to create your own luck and you get to create your own happiness. They go hand in hand together. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know if there's such a thing as a lucky person or an unlucky person. I think it just depends on the way that you want to see life and on the way that you want to see yourself and on the way that you approach things. And I call this creating your own luck because this is what suits the way that I see things, but it can be creating your own happiness, creating your own well-being, creating your own dream life. But yeah, not everything's out of reach, but you have to work towards it, you know? And I get how sometimes things, whatever it might be, can seem very out of reach. But you have to trust yourself. You have to trust the process as well and take it just one step at a time, one day at a time, work towards that. So let's say you want to start a podcast or start a YouTube channel or become a content creator or be a professional athlete. Well, it might seem like it's out of reach and it's not for you, but make it for you. Make this thing become the right thing for you. Work towards it. Do your research and just start somewhere. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you're going to reach it. And yes, it's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, and probably a lot of discipline. But you have to think of it in the long run. You have to see the bigger picture. And you have to think of the why. And you have to remind yourself why you're actually doing this and what you want with that, you know? And yes, there are also going to be bumps in the roads. And not everything's going to go your way all the time. But again, it's about the long run. It's about taking another step forward and then another one. You might take a few steps backwards, but taking steps forward is going to lead you ahead, in front of you, towards the goals and towards what it is that you want. Also, I've briefly talked about this in the beginning of the episode with the lucky girl syndrome, but it's a form of affirmation. And affirmations work. Even if they're placebo, they work for me. Because repeating something to yourself makes you believe in it. And if you believe in it, it's more tangible. And when it's more tangible, it's more reachable. So yeah, it's a form of manifestation. Manifest what you want, but also just don't sit there and do nothing, but actually work towards that. And that's creating your own luck. It's believing in yourself, and it's believing that everything is going to go your way and that everything is working out for you, but also taking the steps that you need to take to make it work and to make everything go your way. And yes, I think that good things come to those who wait, but I think that good things come to those who wait proactively and who are willing to do what it takes to get there. And I cannot stress this enough, but consistency is key for everything. If you want to make something work, you have to be consistent with it. Wow, that coffee was really delicious because I just finished it. And it's pretty rare that I finish a coffee before I even finish my coffee talk. So I think that is my cue to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching or listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I truly, truly, truly mean it. Hopefully I have made a little difference in your day today. If you would like to make a difference in mine, you know what to do. I'm going to wish you une bonne journée.